Hello, welcome back to Tarot by Andy. Thank you for being here. This is my vibrational reading. Please do your own research for entertainment purposes and allegedly. And please do not answer the hustlers on the feed. That is not me hustling you. So anyways, I would like to dig into wondering if Harry's going to establish ownership of himself. The issue here is the emotional versus the rational mind. Being able to take those two and come to some kind of conclusion for yourself and actually mend and heal, because that's that conflicting issue here, emotional versus rational. He tends to lean on his emotions. His emotions are his logic, which is not true. Emotions are not logic. Emotions are just feelings, passing feelings like a river in the water. Versus rational, which is more solid, as we know, sword energy, more clarity of thought. Emotions can be clouded with depression and brain fog and desperation and smothering energy, drama. Emotions can be angry and erratic and that whole dramatic, that Queen of Wands. It can be, that King of Pentacles in reverse where, you start becoming uncaring and cold. And so that's why emotions are not to be completely relied upon. It's an emotional experience, and it's definitely within oneself. And it doesn't mean two people going through the same thing, raised by the same parents, are going to perceive things the same way, because it is really our own personal perceptions. So I want to dig in and find out, is Harry going to reestablish ownership of himself? I have two decks here. I'm going to do one for emotional and the other one for rational. Does that sound like fun today? A little something different. So I will probably only pull 3 from each, and then I'm going to clarify with that particular deck. So I'm going to use this one first as the emotional deck. The big one's the emotional one, because that tends to be the biggest thing we focus on. Isn't that true? Yes, our emotions can really get us in a pickle and get our panties in a bundle. So here we go. Harry's emotional side. Will he ever reestablish ownership of himself? Will Harry ever reestablish ownership for himself? Emotionally speaking, where is it lying? Where is it lying emotionally speaking? Emotionally. Where is he emotionally on claiming ownership? On claiming ownership, where is he emotionally? Emotionally, where is he? Emotionally. On emotional level. 1, 2, oh boy, and 3. Oh boy, it's not working, you guys. Yeah, he pursued, he wants to keep her going, but it was cutting corners to keep it going. It's not working out too well. And one thing I did notice with this deck, it sure is faint. The colors really are not vibrant versus this deck. I'm like, what's up with that? I don't know. I didn't notice it when I first opened it. But anyway, so Page of Cups is that dreamy lover, that romantic guy, romantic offerings. He wants a romantic love. He wants love in his life. He wants dualities. He wants new friendships. He wants friendships. He can't have friendships while he's married to her, for starters. And having her isn't working either. He has not improved himself. Nothing has improved in his marriage with Megan, nor in his friendships. With the 2 of Cups or in business, early stage relationships are not really taking off. Creative collaborations aren't doing well. Spiritual love and physical love isn't working out so well. So he's not even getting physical love from her. He's love deprived is how Harry's feeling emotionally, and nothing's working out. He probably has always suffered in all due respects, because this is an 8 in reverse. So he cannot persevere. He's had a hard time staying in relationships. He knows this relationship, emotionally speaking, is not going to work out. It's not going to persevere. He cut corners getting her. There's a lot of dark plans, because the 8 of Pentacles is planning. It is self-improvement, making progress, being motivated, working on a skill. The skill set in this marriage has been dark plans. It was a dark plan marriage to the get-go, from word go. From the minute that horse race left the gates, it was dark. It was always meant to be dark. And it's not going to work out. It will not persevere. He knows it on an emotional level. That's pretty telling right there. So now let's get logic. What is he thinking logically speaking? Where is Harry logically speaking? Where is Harry logically speaking? About establishing ownership of himself. Establishing ownership of himself. And that's important. That's something we have to work on ourselves. You know, no therapist can truly do it for you. This is where self-healing and facing your fears, facing your darkest thoughts, that Hermit card really comes into play. That's why a lot of people will say that therapy doesn't work. And it's because they just think they can just have diarrhea of the mouth to the therapist and go home and everything will be fine. It doesn't stop there. It really is a lot of internal work when you get home. That's just sort of like opening the gate. But that's about it. And that's why people say, oh, it doesn't work. No, you got to go home and do the work. So here we go. Where is he logically speaking? 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 Logically, what is he thinking about this marriage and reestablishing ownership of himself? Nothing's working for him emotionally. What is it logically? Logically for Harry. Logically for Harry. And yeah, I did turn the angle of the camera different just so it'd be easier for everyone. So hopefully you guys are okay with that. So here we go. There we go. What is it? What do I have here? Well, he's ready to give up logically. That's it. He cannot blaze this path anymore. This is vested self-interest. He knows it was vested self-interest, logically speaking, and he just can't do it anymore. He's ready to give it up. He knows he should give it up. He wants to give it up because people are questioning his choices. Yeah, they sure are. They're questioning, why in the earth did you marry her? Well, I thought I was going to bond with her, but it was a dark plan. I just can't tell you about it. Yeah, it was always going to leave. They were always going to leave. They were always out to take revenge on his brother and sister-in-law and out to get revenge. He was always this dark kind of kid. That's why we see that. And he knows that there's no empathy or love in the marriage. There's absolutely no understanding. It's total manipulation with the King of Cups in reverse. So absolutely no love. Logically, he is not in love with her at all. He doesn't like her. He doesn't want to be friends with her. He doesn't want to be lovers with her. He does not want the claw holding him, okay? There's no love there. It's all manipulation and fake, as we know. So logically, he goes, yep, I don't love her. I don't think I ever did. She just held my hand and wouldn't let go of me, and we had this dark plan. So not working out. King of Cups in reverse. He's not emotionally available to her. He knows it's too turbulent, too much outbursts, there's too much manipulation, and he just doesn't want to hold her hand anymore. This is another reason why she hit that red carpet by herself. She's also going to blame him. So there's this whole lack of empathy between the two of them, and they don't really understand each other. He really doesn't understand the human condition on an intellectual level. And intellectually, he knows he's not a very generous person. Also, intellectually, he knows he doesn't forgive easily. Intellectually, he knows he doesn't love himself or other people right now, so there's a lot of self-hatred. Intellectually, he knows he has a hard time controlling his impulses. And intellectually, he knows he's not a balanced emotionally individual. He knows he's very unbalanced. He's sick. He knows that he suffers from empathy because he's emotionally unstable. With emotional instability comes a lack of emotional understanding for other people. So that's very self-focused on himself. Very turbulent emotionally. Intellectually, he knows that. He knows he needs to give up the path. He knows people are questioning him on his mental status. He needs therapy. He's being questioned by therapists because this is a therapist card here. This is the therapist, the King of Cups. So also, it is the Father card. People are questioning him on his parenting. Let's talk about your children. He doesn't want to talk about his children. He's going to shut down. I'm not going to respond to that. No response to the children. Oh, are you a loving father? Oh, I can't talk about that. I'm just going to give up that conversation. Intellectually, he won't talk about it because there's no peace. There's no peace, and he's not in charge of his emotions when it comes to that subject matter, and he knows he needs to give up and stop blazing that path too. And there we have lonely Harry the Hermit, who has failed at life lessons, and intellectually, he knows that. Intellectually, he knows he's extreme loneliness, extreme fear, and extreme panic, anxiety attacks. So he doesn't like to do anything. So he wants to hold himself up. He's trying to resist his inner voice. So it's kind of self-beating. I'd say his super ego is crashing down on him and judging him. Why can't you heal? Why haven't you healed with a therapist? You gave it up. What's wrong with you? So his super ego is beating him up. He didn't take advice. He didn't take advice from his family. He knows that intellectually because he didn't care what other people thought. He was too emotionally turbulent and he would not respond emotionally or intellectually to his family. He knows he should have never married her, in essence. Very lonely marriage, not working out. There's absolutely no bonding and loving. They do not give a what's for each other. And he should have given up on the love proposal. He should have given up and not proposed. He should not have accepted. He should have given up on the idea of love. Intellectually, he knows he shouldn't have gone down that self-interest blazing path of the Seven of Wands. So it was very self-interest. And for her, for him, that's why they hooked up. That's why they were able to do what they did. That's why they did what they did. But he did it out of loneliness. He did it because he never takes advice. He never would take advice. He's that problem child in a lot of respects. He's not very wise. He's kind of ignorant because upright, the hermit, is smart. They're mature. They listen to their therapist. This is his therapist. He wouldn't listen to the therapist. So this guy has a lot of hard lessons to learn. Intellectually, he knows he screwed up. And emotionally, he knows it's not working out. So let's clarify the hermit in reverse. What's he going to do with that hermit in reverse? What's he going to do with that hermit in reverse? What's he going to do with that hermit in reverse? Harry's hermit in reverse. What's going to be the solution? He's going to hold himself up and try and figure out how he can heal and fix this. What can I do? Take time out. So this is definitely holding himself up. You know, he feels like it's over. He knows it's over. It's like a Four of Swords. It's very defeated. It's a healing position. So he's wondering, what should I do now? I really do need to heal. I didn't do it. I need to do it kind of energy. I should have done it in the past. I suppose intellectually, this is my time to do it now. A lot of solitude. He needs to regenerate himself in order to face her of a situation that's not working. So that's why he stays away from her. That's why they don't live together. He's always regenerating himself so he can go back into a marriage that's not working, to a marriage where there's no empathy and he knows it. So he regenerates himself and then he has to go in plan mode. So what's his next plan? What's his next plan? Because the Four of Swords quiets the mind to figure out something to do. What's going to be the next step? What will be the next step from Four of Swords? What will be the next step from Four of Swords? Ooh, isolation. He's thinking about how to get out of poverty. How to get out of poverty. Yeah, he's like, okay, it's a money situation because Five of Pentacles is a financial issue card. He's out in the cold. He's an outcast. He's the odd person in the family. How do I heal this? What do I do? So he's really ruminating in misery over that. And he knows it. He knows he does not want to stay in this position. So what's he going to do next after that Five of Pentacles? What's he going to do next after he realizes, I don't want this poverty, this life of poverty with Megan. Spiritually and economically broke, total outcast, scandal, disgrace, that lone wolf of estrangement. And he feels like he has nowhere to belong. You got that right. You have nowhere to belong. He's going to have to do something, which is going to be a Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is he's going to have to go off on his own journey. So he knows the family's not really interested. He's going to have to go off on his own journey. And this is really what I've gotten all along. Sure, mentally speaking, they'll give him what he needs on a medical, anything medically speaking, he's not going to ever have to worry, let's face it. But in terms of his path and journey in life, this is going to be on him. This is that tough love, harsh logic that he knows that he's facing. So with the Knight of Wands, he's going to be a player. He's going to be a player. That's my player card. He's going to take risks. He's going to be uncommitted and go off on his own journey. He wants to travel. He's a little hot-headed, hot-tempered. He's going to be a free spirit. So this is kind of like Harry coming back to who Harry is, which is just, moving around, doing his thing. It's kind of the party prince card. He's going to go off and be sort of a party prince. So this is kind of like divorce energy. What happens when people get a divorce? They go kind of crazy and wild. A lot of uncommitted energy of dating and chasing. And that's just how I feel with this. So he's just going to go off. He's not going to be this fakery here. Nah, I'm not going to join you on whatever it is you're doing. Yeah, you do you, I do me. It's okay, Megan, I'm doing me. All right, you do you. And I think that's also why the marriage was very unconventional. It was never going to work anyways, because that was part of the agreement. I think the agreement was always in her mind, I'll let you do what you want. Yeah, we can do this with our dark plan, but you can always have your freedom. But Harry always wanted love. He always really wanted what his brother and what Catherine had. And that's really what he was hoping that it would be this. He was really hoping it would be Eight of Pentacles upright, that marrying her, everything would be improved. Everything would go better. Things would flow. He can feel more like a professional, like he's leveling up in life. He's making progress. I finally found my person. Everything, I can be just like Will now. I can be just like Kate now. But it wasn't that. It wasn't that, because she lacked empathy and he didn't listen and he blazed it anyways. So let's get to the King of Cups in reverse intellectually. King of Cups in reverse, what's he going to do with this lack of empathy for each other and even for himself, and not understanding psychology and not listening to the psychologist? Well, he's got a lot of self-loathing, self-doubt, and self-hatred, and it comes to a very negative conclusion, pretty much. He judged everything poorly. He knows he's a poor judgment of character. Very poor judgment of character. And he's mad at himself. So there's that anger, the grudges. There's a lot of grudges. So not happy. Judgment in reverse is basically, he is self-loathing. He's lacking self-awareness, and he's failing at life lessons, just like he's failing at life lessons with the Hermit card. That also fails at life lessons. So he's completely failing at life lessons. And that's why he's in a strange position. That lack of empathy, I would say he has an attachment disorder. I wouldn't put him at the paranoid attachment disorder, but just definitely has this arrested development, can't truly connect. But definitely an attachment disorder. And that's why he has a lot of anger and hatred and grudges for people that can actually truly connect. He checks out. He's not learning it. He blazes something when he knows he shouldn't. He's got low boundaries when basically he should have high boundaries on these situations. Another card here. Yep, it's detachment and suffering, misery, and trying to find acceptance. He does it because he wants to be accepted. And he has to accept the situation that he's a grudge-bound person who's emotionally immature and unresponsive in a positive way, doesn't understand himself emotionally, never followed up on therapist recommendations. He's angry at himself, and he has to accept it now. He knows what he should have fixed this situation a long time ago, and we have all these cards on the table that shows he cannot learn life lessons. Next position, yep, he dropped the ball. Intellectually, he knows he dropped the ball on therapy, and this is why he's suffering now. And he can't fix it, so he has to accept it, but he's upset with himself. He knows it. So let's get to the Seven of Wands in reverse. 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 Yep, he wants to lawyer up. Yeah, to do the right thing would be to give up and lawyer up on the love, on chasing love. Let's do the right thing here. Let's get with logic. Logic with logic. Yep, I know the truth. The truth is, everyone's questioning me because they know the truth. The truth is, they know the truth. That's why everyone's questioning me, is because they know what's really up. And so now he has to be truthful. Okay, it's time for me to give up on her, loving her or caring about her or wanting her and chasing her, doing these dark plans. I need to be honest now. I need to have a strong regard for the truth, because that's what King of Swords is about. Having high standards, being very decisive in your decisions, being intentional with your actions, and ruled with your head, not your emotions. So that logically, since this is the logical area, he knows he needs to be logical. He knows he has to be the ruler of thought. He knows he needs to kind of be a little stoic and go with fairness and truth. And everybody knows it. That's why everyone's questioning him, because people know what's going on. That doesn't sit well. And people also, and there's apathy and indifference. He also kind of doesn't care. Intellectually, he knows he doesn't care. You know, he's an avoidant. This is my avoidant, because emotionally he's shut off. So intellectually, he's not going to care. That's how it works. If you're emotionally not working right, like this one here, then that's where, if you even know the truth, you're going to shut it down and go, well, I'm just going to avoid that person. So then he goes into avoidance. I'm just going to avoid those questions. So that's why he avoids the questions, avoids the truth, because he knows the truth and he knows people know the truth. And so he's got to avoid it. So he's got to emotionally shut down. So he's going to be unfriendly and uninterested in other people, especially when they question his logic. God forbid if they should question his logic. But everybody knows the truth, and he knows on a logical standpoint that he needs to be truthful. So what's he going to do with needing to be truthful and avoiding people who question him? Avoiding people who question him, he knows this, so what's he going to do? He's going to manifest. He's going to manifest what? Let's go to the bottom of the depths subconsciously. He's going to manifest more dark stuff. Oh boy. Well, I got to cover up my other lies, so I'm going to manifest more lies. So cutting corners. He's going to cut more corners. So basically, he might tell partial truths with a lot of lies and cut corners, and he's going to try and manifest that. So he's going to manifest more dark stuff to cover up other dark stuff. That's like taking one lie and layering the lie with another lie to cover the other lie. Because that strong regard for the truth that he knows he should intellectually have, he emotionally cannot do. That sucks. That sucks. Yeah, that's like a real defeated guy who's stuck and trapped in the darkness that they created, and why it was that way all along. That's bad. That's bad. It was always a dark plan. So he has to cover up. He has to cover up with more darkness. Let's get to this Eight of Pentacles darkness, because that's the only really concerning one there. I really don't care about the fact he doesn't want to be with her. We all know that. He looks so beat down. It's unbelievable. I mean, there's no denying that body language. So here we go. How's he going to control the direction? Because he can't control the direction. He's going to manipulate it. He can't regenerate himself, so they're going to try to control the direction, but they're losing control. They are losing control with that 8 in reverse. And so this is where he's going to try and reestablish control down in here. So how is he going to try and establish control? Basically by dropping a resource, which would be Megan. Let go of an attachment. Let go of an attachment. Yeah, he doesn't want to be with her. Let go of her. So basically, they've overextended. They're going broke. They owe HG. I just saw it. I don't watch him very often, but I just saw him. I think it's 28 million. They're going broke, and they've overextended. So now he needs to let Megan. They need to let go of their behavior, their pattern of behavior. And he knows he should, emotionally, he knows he needs to let go of that pattern of behavior, because they're not bringing in enough money either. This here is someone having a plan and working on it and bringing in the pentacles. Look at that, bringing in the pentacles, working at it, bringing it in. They're not bringing in the pentacles, so we better set aside our lifestyle. We're overdoing it. We cannot keep up. So this is where it said Montecito is going up for sale. I already was under the impression it already was. And then it came to my mind today about how they said also they were going to buy that Malibu mansion, Malibu home, remember? It dawned on me why she did that whole Malibu narrative, you guys. She did that Malibu narrative at the same time that the Barbie movie came out. We know how much she loves Disney princesses, okay? She likes Disney. It's a Disney show, and I think she was mirroring the Barbie show. Oh gosh, that show is really hitting it big. Let's pretend we're going to go buy a Malibu home because Barbie's out right now. I think that's how sick and twisted she is. And it really dawned on me this morning that was something that was in her narrative because of Barbie movie. She likes to mirror and mimic movies and stuff and commercials, like she did with a car commercial with the car and sliding through the back seat. And that was her car. It was a jalop car. And really, she got that. Catherine Zeta-Jones did a commercial on that. So she likes to take things and then try and recreate it. And I really got that feeling this morning thinking about that. But yeah, they've overspended. They're not bringing it in. They're not improving themselves. Work's not coming in. Very poor judgment, all cutting corners, all dark plans, all their dark plans, thinking they can fulfill promise of staying together is not working out. So he's going to need to drop the relationship. This is a pattern of behavior, relationships, and money. It's all got to go because they can't keep it up. They can't keep it up. So they're going bankrupt, they're broke, and they can't keep their home. They can't keep their home, and they can't keep their jobs either. They can't keep their relationships either, so he needs to let her go. Everything's falling apart. It's a lack of resources position. He's losing resources, so that's why he's going to be a freeloading player energy here. And then drop the ball on her and basically come up with some dark plan, so probably so that he can't take off on his own. So he's going to manipulate the manipulator. So they manipulate each other. So let's find out some more about this player energy. Harry the player. Harry the player. What's Harry the player going to land on next? What's Harry the player going to land on next? What's coming for him? What's coming for Harry the player energy? He's going to get rejected. Yeah, he's not going to get what he wants. A sexy relationship's not going to be so easy. Might have something to do with the Todger stories. Yeah. Oh, boy. Sorry, Harry. Okay, so there's going to be some setbacks on his passion. Sexy relations aren't going to be so easy, just like Megan. Yeah, that's what happens when you talk about this stuff publicly. He's going to lack the willpower and the initiative to be a hardcore player. He's getting at that age where women aren't going to be so interested in him. This is just too serious of a situation for women to really want to jump in the sack with him, okay? Just being brutally honest here. Yeah, he's not going to be working because he's not going to. He's not going to be, his career and job will be tanked. He can't start anything. He won't be able to really truly start a journey or start dating or start a career. So that's kind of like all put on the back burner, I would say. He's fairly impotent when it comes to careers. He's impotent at his journey. He's impotent when it comes to dating. Women don't really like dating him. It's said that he's a terrible boyfriend. He's greedy. He's selfish. He's not very nice. He's a cheater. He's not an amazing, passionate person because he doesn't understand human condition. He does have empathy issues at this point. It's just not going to work out. So it's going to be fairly a no position here. Anhedonia is another problem where he can't really feel joy. So he's going to head off on his own. He can't really feel the passion or joy. That wand's down. So with the wand down, that just goes into he's kind of a coward. He's a coward to start anything new based off what he's just previously been through. His ego's been crushed down. He cannot work. He's so distraught, he can't even do a job. He's not stable enough. Business is down. There's no fire inside him. So he's really beat down. That fire inside him is crushed. She's basically emasculated him to the point where he's afraid to start anything new. Let's highlight that. Let's clarify that. So the Todger's not going to be working so good. I guess he won't be doing Las Vegas anytime soon. No more running naked in the hallways. That was of the past. Sorry, Harry. Yeah, you won't be doing that again. All right, here we go. What's next? He's going to be focused on resources, taking stock over his relationships and money, and where can I go? Where can I build? He needs to build. He's at a crossroad. Where can I go? Where is it worth it? Where can I go? Where is it worth it? Where can I rebuild myself? He needs to rebuild himself big time because he's been the bad apple. He's been the bad apple. He'd like to get back to the family tree too. He wants to try and rebuild himself. And he knows that he's been rejected and they don't want him. So he's going to be kind of a free floater here doing his thing and try and rebuilding while he's on the road traveling. He's going to try and not start a new relationship so he can rebuild with his family. So he's not going to put sexy relations as top priority, unlike Markle, which is really what happens with someone who's been abused by someone else, and he really was dragged in like a dog on a leash. This is a trauma response. And it's what I would expect, to be honest. So in that regards, that's actually good. So let's clarify. Dropping the ball on love and self-hatred and having to accept that he's screwed up and he has poor judgment and love. Let's clarify that in terms of logic. In terms of logic, what's he going to do? So he's dropping the ball. He needs to drop the ball. He wants to drop the ball. He should drop the ball. He's got dark plans he wants to do. What's this dark? Dropping the ball because he can't cope. He can't cope. He's learned a lot, the ups and downs of life. But he's not very resourceful. He can't adapt. He's just not good at adapting the juggles of life because he's a born prince. What's going to happen? Yeah, it's hard to accept. He thought he could do it. She made him believe he can do it, but he can't. Intellectually, he knows it's over. It's game up. Game up, game up. Emotionally, this relationship is game over. Game over. It's difficult to accept. It's not what he wanted. It's not what he expected. He has to let go of this path, and he's going to hang on to the past with denial. So the dark plans is going to be some denial over the dark plans. So he's going to deny a lot of the dark plans in order to get back into the family. So deny, deny, deny. He's going to do some denying. He's not going to be truthful because that 10 of Swords goes up to an Ace of Swords in reverse. So he's going to deny, deflect. He's going to be too stressful to have some conversations. He's going to be dishonest. He's going to have clouded judgment. He lacks logic. So he lacks logic because he's not emotionally connected, and he lacks his higher self. This judgment in reverse is he doesn't have self-actualization. So that's why he denies and denies, because he has no self-actualization. So that's why lying and denial and sweeping it under the rug and say, can I come back, is typical borderline behavior. Let's just forget about it. Let's all forget that happened. Let's just forget it. Let's just go. I'm going to deny in order to, because denial is the only way he can live with himself since he lacks self-awareness. That's the way that narcissism inside himself operates, is through denial, as we know. So in order to keep going, he's going to have to continue some more lies, which is lying here too, and manufacturing more lies. So he is going to do some more lying so that he can get out of this situation. So what's he going to lie about? What's the biggest lie he's going to tell? What's the biggest lie he's going to tell? What's the biggest, fattest lie he's going to tell? What big doozy's coming out next? What big doozy's coming out of Harry? What big doozy's coming out of Harry? Big old doozy. Big old doozy. Up, he will just claim that he was naive. I was just so naive. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I was young. I was so naive. He knows it was poor judgment. He will say it was kind of poor judgment. I didn't know what I was doing. I really didn't know what I was doing. I didn't realize it was going to happen this way. I really thought that I was having a new beginning and I was hoping things would work out. I was so naive. Yeah, he was. So there is some truth in that. But he's going to deny that they took this fearless beginning of lies and dark plans. So he's going to deny the past, he'll just say, I was so stupid and naive. That's his excuse. I was stupid and naive. I'm just a young little boy prince. That's his arrested development right there. He is the fool. He literally is the crown prince, full of lies and denial, and having to accept the fact that he makes nothing but poor judgment, and he's not truly emotionally connected to those around him. That's why he did it. So that's what he's going to go with. What else is he going to say with the fool in reverse? So, yep, he is the absolute fool. Everyone does that emoji. He's going to say, I should have never accepted the love. This is platonic. He won't say platonic. He'll say, I should have never done that. I should have never proposed. I should have never proposed. So it was all about money. It was all about money and greed. It was a greedy miser situation. So I possessed her. It was sort of a possession. I shouldn't have done it. It was about money and greed. We just had to focus on money, and it was a fail. It was an absolute fail. I tried getting attention. We tried getting wealthy. What a loss that was. See, he will admit that. Let's get to his dark plan. So what dark plan is he going to do? What dark plan? What's the dark plan? What is the dark plan? What is the dark plan? What is the dark plan? The dark plan? The dark plan is going to be more shared fantasy of lies. Just more lies. More lies built upon lies, just like I was saying. Yeah. So that's how I see that. Anyways, fun stuff. He knows he needs to get out emotionally. Just to recap this, he knows it's not working. He needs to drop Megan. It's been nothing but a marriage of lies and deception, and he also knows that he is lost big time emotionally in every way. And it was all about money, platonic love, fool's path of lies, and mirroring, shadowing, manufacturing lies, that he wants his family back. He wants his family back. He does not want to be in estrangement, and he's not going to date. He's going to try hard to get back in. He doesn't want the life he has now. All right, you guys, till next time, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye, you guys.